It's Sunday Night Live. All right. Hey everyone, how you doing? That's the badge that James Rockford sent me. So that's my official. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, so I thought I would just get that out and flash my badge. All right. So hey, welcome everybody to Sunday Night Live, and we are in the new studio. And behind me is the. We're calling that the Birch wall. Okay, so you might have seen it if you just watched the product thing that I did just yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I put up the product about the headlamp that was done with the Birch wall. All right, so hey, we got a lot of people in the house. Hey, Alpine Warrior, old Kraken Dated. We got Hammock Mountain, and we got Lou. Hey, Lou, how you doing? Yes, and we've got Four Wheeling. All right. Derek Smith, how you doing? Hey, Tony, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you too. Studio looks great. Thank you very much. Yes, if you let's talk about the studio for a minute since you brought it up. So if this is wallpaper, all right. So this is peel and stick from Amazon. So this wall was 6 rolls to get it up on the wall, and so hey Ken, how you doing? Ozark, how you doing? And let's see, BJ, how's it going? So with the wall, 6 rolls to do the whole wall, a total of I think $34. And so what was really cool is that I believe it $42 worth of contributions or pledges from the Patreon account. So I'm calling that the Patreon wall because the Patreon, this month's gifts actually gave me enough funds to do that wall, and got a little bit of free stuff. So you can see it's a little 3D. This didn't come from Amazon. That came from the woods. That's a piece of birch, and I screwed it into the wall. I was driving home the other day. Well, from the post office, I had gone over there, and on the way back, I saw some birch. I was driving on a dirt road, looking actually for a stealth spot. So, hey, Eagle Eye, how you doing? Hey, Mike, there's the backpack hanging on the wall that I got from you out at Cabela's. Thank you much, buddy. That actually went on its maiden voyage with me yesterday, and I might mention that a little bit here. Yesterday into this morning. Let's just say that. All right. But with that, we not only was let's see, so the Patreon did the wall. So like I said, that's 6 rolls of birch paper. And then I've got that birch tree. And then I got that one over there. So they were like downed trees, dried out, dead. So I grabbed them and then threw them in the back of the vehicle. And then Miss 2.0 helped me bring them upstairs into the studio. And then I used like 3.5 inch screws and screwed that right into the wall. The one over there on this one, that's actually a pretty long one. Hey, Kathy, how you doing? Joan, Jess, hey, how's it going? So that one is actually goes from the floor all the way to the ceiling. I cut a piece about that long off so that I could wedge it between the floor and the ceiling, and it's just kind of hanging out. The branches kind of protrude into the room. So pretty cool. The birch looks awesome. Thank you, Alpine. They look great. Indian hemlock, nice. Shade Tree, how you doing? Studio looks great. Thank you very much. Hidden Hammock, hey Josh. So right. So let's see. Pretty cool. It's a nice look. If I'm too bright, I can turn the lights down a little bit. Let me know if I'm too bright, because I can't tell. But can't wait to see Jess, the Alpine Warrior, and GM Outdoors. Hey, Grant, how's it going? Yeah, the other night when I was out, well, at Cabela's, just really great seeing everybody. That I know 2 weeks ago when Dave RNRV Chronicles was here in the studio, we were doing a lot of talking, and that was the day after we all met up at Cabela's, and we had a great time at the meetup. GM Outdoors, Alpine Warrior. Everybody came over. Joe came over. It was just so much fun. Mike was there, and that's where Mike had given me the backpack. And then Zeke showed up, and boy, that was an emotional time to see him. And then we got the group picture. So you can go on and watch that. That was on not last Thursday, but the Thursday before. So that was my filming of it. And I didn't get a lot of chance to film a whole lot that day when everybody was there. So that kind of made it a little difficult because I wanted to interact with everybody. But GM Outdoors, you put a video up, and also Lewis from Adventuring with Lewis. Hey, James Rockford, how you doing in the house? Hey, I started out our episode, James, with the badge that you made me, so the stealth camping badge. So stealth camping Explorer YouTube, that's the badge. And James had also sent this here. I know I talk about that on the One Mail Monday, but one of the things that I didn't share because I wasn't sure if I was able to, but I know, James, you said it was okay. I just want to show the picture of you, your dad, and your two brothers. So the whole family, they all served in the Chicago Police Department. So there you go. So you got Dad Ed Sr., you got Ed Jr. there, and then you got Terry and also Bill. All right, Bill. So thank you very much for that gift, and thank you for your service too. Greatly appreciate it. So I haven't had a chance to use this yet. Hey, Emma Brown, guess what I'm doing? Right here, salute. I am doing cowboy coffee. So since you mentioned that a couple weeks ago on the last live, you said about cowboy coffee. So Dave and I were talking about it. He said he would let me know how to make it. So I went on to YouTube and looked up how to make cowboy coffee. So that's what this is. And I'm going to take a drink of it here quick. Oh, it's good, good. So this coffee is that I used for it is Pride Land Fancy Gourmet. Thank you, Dennis. Dennis had sent this to me, and that's what I'm using for tonight's cowboy coffee. He had sent me another one that when I did my very first cowboy coffee. And if you don't know what cowboy coffee is, you just fill this up with water or a pot with water, and then you just dump the grinds right in it. Kind of like a French press, but you boil it, and all the coffee then settles to the bottom. So when you pour it out, all the coffee grounds are left in it. And I don't have any coffee grounds in my cup. I've drank that whole kettle waiting to get started. So yum, yum, yum. And some water. So I've got a little natural koozie here. Part of that down tree that I found, it was dead on the inside. And so this is actually just birch bark. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to put my water in that. I make it look like a little tree. So I'm going to catch up on the comments here. Hey, Rick, how you doing? Welcome. William, nice to see you. I'm doing fine. Hey, Dennis. Yes, I've got the hot lip on there. And I remembered to bring it. Actually, I had it with me on that last camp that I did. So last Thursdays. And we're going to get to that one here in a little bit because I got a lot of comments about that camp. But I do have the hot lip on here, and I had it with me. It was in a different compartment in the backpack, but I definitely had it with me. I just didn't break it out. So, hey, Pastor, how you doing? RIG Outdoors. So let's see. Yes, go subscribe. Yes, go and subscribe to. When you see if we're all subscribed to one another, it actually really helps out the whole community. Really great. And don't forget, if you've got a video that you do and you would like to share it with our Facebook group, because I was asked to have a group for Random Adventures 2.0, and that's a place where you can post your videos. And I know a lot of you have posted your videos on there. I don't think Camp Gourmet Joe came out with a video, really, really nice, but he didn't get a chance to post it, I guess, on our Facebook family page. So just found out my son wants crunch cake instead of pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. All right, Darlene. Yeah. So yes, Darlene, your son does have good taste. So glad to see you using the hot lips. Yes, definitely using the hot lips. And I haven't burned my lip. And Dennis, thank you very much for this coffee again. That's what I'm doing for the cowboy coffee. All right. So the Cabela's trip was a lot of fun. I know I wanted to go live that day, but I just couldn't find the time to go live. But I actually wanted to go live from Cabela's for people that weren't able to come. And that would have been really cool. But maybe we'll do that at another time. Be able to do that and go live on somewhere other than here. I mean, I did one other time. I did it. Well, two other times I did a live up at one shopping center when I found the Batmobile. So, and I thought that was a cool place to do a live. Alrighty. So as you noticed, I have done a couple product reviews, and I have a couple product reviews to do, and I'm going to start throwing them in just periodically, because with a couple companies wanted me to get them out early. Like I try to schedule them, over the weeks, but sometimes like there's specials that they may have, like coming up here right after Black Friday. There's a lot of places that offer special discounts and stuff. They're like, oh, can you get my product out? And that is like the Olight O Bulb. I was contacted by a division of their company the other day. Sorry. Something in my throat here. And I didn't know that they had a camping store. So, division. So I thought they were just lights, but they've got one that's called O Life. And they sent me a product that I was going to open and do a product review on. Let me see if I got the box here. I cut it open just before I came on air, but I didn't pull it out of the box yet. They want me to do a product review on a hammock, and also an underquilt. And they would like me to do that before Black Friday. So I've got to get out there, and it was only 22 degrees this morning. So that is really good. But Olight O Bulb has a division called O Life. So I never knew that. So like I said, I'm anxious to try that out and see how that works. Hey, Billy Bird and Chris, how you doing? I am here. How's everyone? It says my phone is trying to die. It hates live streams. Yes. Yeah, you got to get that charged up. I have a... I just got a little, sorry, this kind of disgusting, but I had a little acid reflux and it's burning my throat. And I think it's from the coffee. Oh, Hammock Mountain, you took some cadets, gave them Louisiana crunch cakes to everyone. Yes. When I did the live, or not the live, but when I went out to Cabela's for the meetup, I took a whole case. I had to order that case of crunch cakes a week ahead of time because they run out so quick. But yes. Let's see. It's a conspiracy. Alrighty. Okay. Well, the underquilt, Alpine Warrior asked what it's made of. I've got to get my glasses on. It feels like it's a synthetic inside, so it's not a down. I'm not sure if it's going to be as warm as my my one quilt that I use, my Amaya quilt. I'm not sure how far. It doesn't say anywhere on here how far down it goes as far as temperature. Usually you'd think they'd say on there. But yeah, it doesn't say. It's, I believe, a nylon, and it is recycled plastic. Huh. Yeah, it talks about recycled plastics and stuff. So I'm figuring that's here's the little tag. So it really doesn't say anything about temperature. I don't want to pull it out of this pouch and string it out because I want to do that on the product review because these things are a bugger to get back in these little bags. But that is neat. And then this is the actual hammock. So I can feel on the top there's strips that are, or the tree straps are actually in there. And it comes with a little cinch thing. So pretty neat. I'm anxious to do that. I think I might take a look at this tomorrow. Take and pull this out and take it out and hang it up and see what it's like. Lay in it for a little bit. But I think it's only supposed to get, it's supposed to be down in the 17 degrees tomorrow. So that's cold. I was out overnight and boy, when I was trying to use my hands in the morning, it was only 22 degrees. And with this stroke side, this whole side here, boy, when it gets cold, this hand really doesn't work. It already has trouble working before that. And just, it's terrible once it gets cold. Hey Nature Song, and then Woods 87. Already old cracking dated. Oh, and stop by tomorrow and check out Mail Monday. So little thing here. I don't open mail on actual Monday. It's Mail Monday I'm presenting, but I open it live for a day or two ahead of time so that I can upload it and make sure it's up for Monday. And check that out tomorrow. Really, really great. Just wait do you see that? It's a good one. So that's tomorrow. And Tony, have you ever spent the night in a cave? No, I haven't. Actually, I've been thinking about it, but it's really hard around here to find good caves. I know there's some down along the Susquehanna River. I did find that one. I'm just not sure about staying in that one. Yeah. I'd like to find a good cave to do. Full-length fur coat and a mink sleeping bag to keep you warm. Yes. Yes, yes. No longer four-wheeling. Okay, new name. All right. Do a stealth under a Phoenix at Knobles. Yeah. Disco Inferno. Yeah, that would be really nice. Hey, Green Hubs, how you doing tonight? And I camped last night and it got down to 16. Super cold. Yeah, Grant, cold. Now, do you have trouble with your hands? Like Jay Wanders Out told me one time, he said, he asked me after I had the stroke because he was hiking from Georgia and it was February still, and it was really cold. And I know he was talking about his hand. He said, trying to snap things and zip things. He asked if that was like what it felt like for a stroke. And I said, absolutely. You want to move, but it just doesn't move. And you can't squeeze things. You can't pick things up very good. Picking camping spots, Tony, you do a great job picking. Thanks, Rick. Greatly appreciate it. All right. So we're going to talk about the Thursday night's stealth camp. All right. So it was, I had gone out to Cabela's the other week, the other day. And so this past Thursday, that video, the one that says ASMR, minimal talking. All right. So I don't know. I actually, how that all came about is I was driving and it was 3:00. And as you know, daylight savings time is limiting very much for evening filming. So it gets dark around 4:55 or 4:50 now. So, December 21st is going to be the shortest day of the year. So we're quickly approaching that. But I'm driving at 3:00. Now I got an idea where I want to go. But there's no way. I'm an hour away from where I wanted to go, and it was already 3:00. So I quick turned off this one road that said Wiser Forest, which is a mountain down near Cabela's. And I turned off quick, and I drove up a dirt road. And while I was driving, I'm going higher and higher up in this mountain. Then I'm like, I got to find a place to pull off. And I wanted to see how far out it went. And it went to a dead-end road. And at the dead end, I was thinking of doing that. There's a Port Clinton fire tower is there. Now it's all fenced off. But there was a couple cars there. And I couldn't really see a place to set up the hammock and things quickly. And I'm like, do I stay here? Do I go? Do I stay? And finally I go and I'm driving back. And I'm going to go back down the mountain. Well, while I was driving, I got to a certain spot, and the sun was coming through the trees, and it just caught my eye for a second. And it was the milkweed had broken open, and the sun was shining through the milkweed. And I thought, man, I'm going to get a picture of that and see, just film that for a second. So I stopped the car, and then I got out and I set up the tripod and I started filming that wind blowing the milkweed with the sun behind it. And then I moved it a little bit more, another angle. And then it was, I thought, that's pretty cool. So I had enough for an intro. All right. And I was going, hey, that'll make a nice little intro. Maybe I can back up to that parking area. And then I'll just walk down and set up the hammock. So I was planning on doing this one as a regular video. All right. But while I was walking and setting up the camera and the sun's going down, I'm hearing the rustling of the leaves. And I thought, wow, that is so cool. And it kind of put me in a mood, not a bad mood, but just a mood of appreciation for God's creation, if you know what I mean. So, just the bark on the trees and the fall leaves and the fall foliage that was down on the ground. And no matter where I was walking, all you heard was the crunching noise. So I keep moving the camera and setting it up, and I'm looking for two trees. And I found an area that was no overhangs or anything. There was no brush growing up, but there was a tree stand right there, and I didn't see it right away, but then I saw it, and I decided to set up at these two trees, and I was doing my camera work, and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm really having fun working with the camera. So I thought, maybe I will do this as a limited talking, because I didn't do much talking on the way in. And I really wasn't sure all that I was going to do. And if you noticed, I had a Louisiana crunch cake with me and didn't even eat it. So that's how far off I was from the norm. But when I put that video up, I was putting it up as a relaxation, but just a late fall, the woods going to sleep for the winter, and then spring, they're going to come alive, right? But I guess some of my facial expressions in it, I just edit it, and I'm looking at how, the bark and the leaves and the, one angle of the cup down here, and then another angle of the cup up here, and then another angle of me drinking it over here. I was so caught up in the moment of just doing that stuff that I forgot to say anything. So it would have been very little content even if I tried. So I got a lot of comments of people said, oh man, we miss all the energy. Well, I did too. When I watched it, I was like, boy, this doesn't seem right. But there was some things that happened that day on the mountain as well that really freaked me out. So I'm going to talk about that for a second. All right. So do you like spiders? I know my dad was deathly afraid of spiders. I mean, deathly afraid of spiders. They don't bother me as much, but if I don't have to be around them, I don't want to be around them. So just check the comments. Hey, Casey, Jess, Lou, Alpine, Emma. Okay, I see everybody's here. And wow, we're up to 33 thumbs up. Great, liking that. Hammock Mountain spiders. No, yes. So we get this spider. This is incredible. All right, so it starts off. So I'm setting the hammock down, and I'm deploying the hammock, all right? So I get the straps up, moving the camera. I walk back to the backpack, and this, no line, this spider, I don't know if this spider would have fit on this lid. Its feet would have touched every corner of this lid. It was this big, and I'm not exaggerating. It's not like we're fishing and I say I caught a fish this big. So this spider was actually that big, and it was running down inside my backpack as I'm trying to get my stuff out. And I'm like, get out of there. I'm yelling at the spider. I'm trying to shoo it. I'm talking it. So then I start talking nice. All right, come on, spider. You got to get out of there. Come on, just please get out of there. I got to get set up before the sun goes down. And I want to know where you're at. I don't want you left down inside of my bag. And so eventually it's running up, sitting on the top, then runs back down. As soon as I go to reach down in there, run back up to the top, and then goes back down and back and forth and back and forth. And then finally it gets to the top. All right. Now this is no exaggeration at all. I'm waiting for it, all right? And I'm seeing it come up and it go back down. I'm like, come on, spider, get out of my bag. And it came up and it sat on the top, right? And I immediately hit it. I gave it a backhand. And no kidding, I heard it go skip through the leaves. It skipped through the leaves like I was skipping a stone. It was that big. It rustled through the leaves. That was, I got all weirded out. So anyhow, I had to get the hammock finished set up. So I got the hammock set up. And then when I came back to the one strap, because I wanted to unhook it and then hook it again and film it, there was a dang spider web already on the strap in the thing. And I'm like, come on now. How did that happen that quick? I just put the strap up. So I brushed the spider web off and got me thinking a little bit. But I was more into everything. So some of the concern that you see on my face isn't really concern. Some people said, Tony, are you not upset with us? Are you? The one person said in the comments, and I like, no, I'm not upset. You guys didn't do anything wrong. It was just a different style of filming. For me, it was different. Now, there's guys that's all they do is they go out and they just film. They don't say a word. But also, you only see from here down. You never see their face. So maybe that's what I did wrong. But so anyhow, but there's some people that do that all the time. They just film like that. Hey, 44 likes, thumbs up. That's awesome. Hey, if you didn't hit like yet, go ahead and do that. Hey, Cody, how you doing? Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to be a necessary some brown. Yeah. Full-blown winter, definitely cold. So with the spiders, so now I'm all set up. Okay, I got the hammock set up and I got the tarp set up and I'm making dinner. I talk and I made the lasagna that Zeke had given me. He gave me a whole bag of stuff and I dedicated that video to him. And yes, I did see that earlier that we're definitely still praying for Zeke. His mom our grandmother gives updates on our Facebook family page. If you want to hear updates and stuff like that, go on over there and check that out. But yes, definitely still praying for Zeke. He's got a lot of health issues, and I'm hoping to see him again here soon. I'm going to go do a little visit. So with that, I sat down and I'm just eating, and I'm got my headlamp on, and not the new one. I had the other one where you wave, the AMA headlamp. So I'm using the headlamp and I flash it just over this direction down about 15 feet away. And I was like, there's this blue-green shining back at me, like a bluish green. I can't explain it, but it's like a blue-green reflection, all right? So I'm looking at it going, all right, there's a deer stand right here. Maybe he dropped something and it's over in the leaves there shining at me. So I thought I moved a little bit this way and a little bit that way and it's still shining. And it had my curiosity, right? So I'm thinking, well, maybe it could be something interesting that fell. And, here out on the mountain, it'd be a great find to find something out on the mountain. So I decided to walk over. And it's still shining. And I'm tracking it down about 15 feet away from where I was sitting. And I got to it. I bent down, right? And I brushed the leaves away to see the object that was shining. And as soon as I saw it, it was eyes. It was spider's eyes. A black spider about that big around, shining back at me. And it was his eyes that was shining, the blue-green. And I'm like, come on now. That's it. No. So I backed up. And I went back and I sat back down and I got my lasagna back out and I'm eating it. And I'm looking around like, I can't believe that was eyes looking at me, reflecting. And I looked a little bit, about 2 feet on this side of where that was at. And I see, now that I know blue-green things shining at you is eyeballs of a spider. I'm looking and there's another one. And then I look over here and there's another one. I sat there and I tell you I counted 28 eyeballs in a 15-foot span from there to about 3 foot of me. Eyes looking, and I'm thinking, they got to be looking at me, thinking, oh, look at that meal. I'm a little nervous, right? I'm a little freaked out on this, that there's so many spiders looking at me. And I don't care for spiders either. And so I call my friend Dave, and Dave's like RNRV Chronicles and the rack station nurse, a good friend of mine for 35 years, 36 years. So I called Dave. I said, Dave, there's a big spider that was in my backpack, and I swatted it. It bounced across the leaves. He says, oh, really? I said, yeah. And there's spiders looking at me. There's a whole bunch of them. I counted like 28 of them looking at me all over the place. He said, Tony, get out there now. And I'm like, I can't. It's dark and all my hammock stuff. And I recorded, and I'm going to lose all the footage. And I'm like, no way. And I can't leave. He's like, Tony, serious. You need to change areas. And not to mention, I found the first tick of the year on my pant leg, all right, earlier that evening. So there was a tick on my leg that I flicked off earlier. So not only did we have ticks, but we had spiders and a lot of them. Arachnophobia. I didn't know if I was, how many were there. And I turned off my burner, right? And so the still shot that you see in there of just the burner, like after I cooked the meal, I turned the burner off. It was maybe a minute and a half. Like the burner wasn't even, I don't even think cooled off. There was a spider walking around on one of the tines that come out to hold the cup. You know, the three little supports. There was one crawling all over there. So I set the camera up quick to get a picture of it. And by the time I did that, I got the close up, but not of the spider. It was a close up. That's the close up you see of just the burner and the legs on the burner. But if you look closely, you'll see spider webs floating back and forth. That was from the spider that was just there. So anyhow, Dave's going, get out of there, get out. And I'm like, buddy, I can't. There's no way. With my condition, with the stroke and stuff, during the daylight, I can walk pretty good. And I did fall. I had a really major fall there before I got, while I was setting up, I tripped and fell. And I laid there for maybe about minute and a half just to get my bearings. So it was a different type of experience but maybe it's because all the spiders were on my mind, but that's not the end of it. So as a lot of you know, a lot of you guys like the editing video that I did. So I appreciate you watching that and making so many comments on that Power Director and that editing app. So that app does a ton of more stuff. But as you know, EPAC-W say everything, no issue for years. Oh, yeah. I've got to get some permethrin. Definitely got to get that. I got to figure out how to do that. Green-eyed spider bid you. You would be new Spider-Man. Yeah, I would. I'd set the hammock up, just spray my hammock in place, right? So with that, wasn't the end of it. So as you know, a lot of times I will film while I'm the intro, the meal. So when it gets dark, and I know I'm not going to film anymore until I'm in the hammock and late at night. Okay, if I get up in the middle of the night, I usually do once or twice. We'll get up in the middle of the night and maybe film, maybe once, sometimes twice. And then in the morning, I do breakfast and coffee and stuff. And then that's my routine. So when I climb into the hammock at the end of the night, camping all out. Hey, how you doing? So, hey, Darlene. So when I get in the hammock, I begin to edit because my mind's gone. And I'm like, oh, that's right. Those milk weeds. I'm going to do the intro for that. And I'm laying in the hammock and I'm right there and I'm editing. And in the edit, I don't know if a spider ran across the screen. That was my first thought. I'm like, man, when I was editing that, there was a spider walked across and I caught it on camera. And I was like, wow, that is really odd. And then I was going back and it wasn't there anymore in the editing process. I was like, oh, I think that was on the actual phone. And then it ran across again and it hit my hand. I threw my phone and I screamed. And I was like, ah! So, alrighty, there you go. So it was a spider in the hammock on the actual screen of the phone. And that happened. Here we go. That happened 2 more times. All right. So I don't know if the spiders were in my hammock or just around my hammock, or I got them out of the hammock because I didn't have the bug net on. So I took the hammock without the bug net. I took the packed hammock because I knew I wasn't going to need the bug net. I probably should have taken a bug net and kept that thing zippered up the whole night. Because that would have been so nice. Yeah, you don't mind spiders if they don't get up close and personal. Yeah, me too. But these spiders were like on me. They were part of me. Really got on the phone and just they freaked me out. All right, I don't mind spiders, like you said. I don't mind them from a distance. You know, I can get a spider and put it outside or things like that. But I don't care to hold them, and I don't care for them to crawl on me or be on me when I don't know it, and then all of a sudden tap me on the shoulders like, hey, here I am. Oh, that freaks me out. So definitely, I wouldn't have lasted. I hate spiders. Yeah, Casey. So when you watch that, I don't ever mention the spiders in that video. I don't mention it at all because that's not the type of... Now, if that was me talking video, boy, I would have talked about them spiders. But because I had done so much leading up to that point, and I ignored some of the spiders, and I wasn't catching any on frame, I decided to stick with the original plan just to film it and make it an exercise and exercise in filming and angles. So that one has probably the most filming angles of any of my videos to date. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun for me. I just wish that I would have smiled more because a lot of people commented, they think, oh, you look so serious. So it's not that I wasn't. Oh, praying mantises, them things are evil. They are some vicious things. They can tear something up fierce. The praying mantis. I watched one eat the neck out of a moth one time as a kid. I remember watching it, grabbed it, and it flipped it around with its little praying mantis's paws, and then started just eating the back of its neck on the moth. Oh, that give me nightmares. All right, so that's usually after I'm in the garden. Yeah, just let's see, spiders hanging off of my eyelash. Oh my gosh. Yeah, pinch my eyelash. And so let's see, I'm around. It was beautiful. You did a good eye in finding good filming locations. Oh, thank you, Emma. Yeah, it was a kind of a mixed bag, really, on the video. Some people were making comments. I don't get offended by anything. Very little offends me. I do these videos. They are for me, but I do want to tell you something that goes through my mind. I'm not going to do many of that style, so don't worry about it, because I actually didn't care for it as much. I liked it in the fact of doing what I do with the camera angles, but it felt to me almost like when I'm at a location. Okay, this is what goes through my mind when I film. All right, so let me have a sip of coffee. All right. All right. So we're going to get down and deep into kind of how my mind works with when I'm filming, okay, and making videos for the channel. And I'll tell you what this felt like. So when I film and I interact with the camera and I talk to the camera, I'm talking to Cody, I'm talking to Jess, I'm talking to Emma, I'm talking to Alpine Warrior, I'm talking to all you guys, right? Right? Whether I know you or not, Zach and old Kraken Dated. I mean, when I'm out there, you guys are literally right there with me, not through the camera, but you're there with me, all right? So when I'm doing this and that, I look over, it's like if you were sitting there, is how I feel when I'm filming it. People ask me, hey, do you feel afraid when you go out camping? I don't, because there's so many of us, right? I'm not alone. So there's so many of us that are there. That's how my mind works. It's weird. The more I've thought about it, the more I understand how I feel, right? Doing the filming. And yes, GM, it's amazing. And but what happened the other night when I'm watching it, and part of my struggle in filming that is because when I'm eating, all right, or I'm cooking, there was a couple, that's why there's some talking in there, because I couldn't take it anymore. I said, oh, this is really hard. And I actually say that on film. And then, hey, Lou, yes, exactly. And oh, Grunt. Yeah, it wasn't the same not talking. I did look lonely, and that's what I'm explaining here. Hey, Brian. So what that one was, if you get it into your mind when you watch that, if you go back and watch it, try to ignore me and just focus on the camera work, all right? Because it's a good exercise in camera work. But in my mindset, you can see I'm struggling. And I didn't realize how much I was struggling, but I was struggling because you were there. And I was ignoring you, is how I felt. So I'm sitting there going, oh, man, that was real. Oh, man, I can't say that because we're not doing that. We're not talking. And it felt like I was ignoring you. In my mind, it felt like I was ignoring everybody that was showing up. It felt like I was ignoring you. So some of that concern and thoughts and stuff were on my face or whatever, is because I felt like you were there, but I just wasn't talking to you. And in fact, even someone said, are you upset with us that you're giving us the cold shoulder? And I'm like, no, that wasn't it. But that made me think, because it's a whole different filming and whole different, time, because you were there, but I wasn't talking to you. And that was an uneasy feeling for me. So I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, but I don't want to do too much talking, so it's got to be a nice balance, and I'll find that balance. When I first started and had under 10 subs, I felt alone. Yeah. The more you get, the more comfortable with the camera. Yeah, GM, and you're going to continue to. Spiders was after my crunch kick. Yeah, it was. Yeah. And I didn't even make a crunch cake. Like I said, if you see the one scene, because I had this hat on. So here I am. I had this schmog around my neck, and I had this hat on, and I had I had this schmog. Here it is. Everything in here in the studio is a prop, because that's why you don't hear the echo, because I got the sleeping bag and the hammocks and the underquilt and the top quilts. I got everything hanging up around here, and I've got everything laid out. And the backpacks, like I said, I used this one yesterday or last night and this morning. I got everything back out of it and put back where it goes in the studio because it's a sound barrier, but it's a working studio. And then so my next adventure, I'll go, okay, I'm going to use that bag and I'm going to use that burner, or I'm going to use that piece of gear and that piece of gear and take that along. So I go through and I can see it all. I can see everything that I would need to take along. So like, here's the headlamp. So isn't that cool? It's got a branch right there, you know, so I just hang the headlamp up on there. Oh, and this is that ultralight headlamp. Really, really nice headlamp. And I think GM, you said you got one coming. And I know Weed in the Bush has got one coming too. But yeah, I like this. It's nice and light. And it's a good fit. That strap is really nice. It's a nice tight fit. Not tight on the head, like it's not constricting. But then, you know, it's got the nice thing. And it goes through a lot of modes. So this one's just the white and the red. They do have one that has green in it as well. So in that one, I had the Schmug, and I like using this Schmug. Not many people know what these are, but they are really cool. There's a ton of different uses for them. But so anyhow, at night, so I get this thing on and I pull it to the one side. And I get it down like that. And so your one side wants to be a little longer, right? So then I pull it up under my chin like this, and then get this and pull it straight out and then go up. I'll get this one over here. Then I go up and then pull it across my face and then take it around the back and tie it off like that. So then that's it. And then at night, I usually like to wear it like this. So down around my neck, and then I'll have my shirt up over. So in the morning, you see me, I'm all like this with my jacket on. And then I got this around my neck, and then I take this off, and then I pick up my hat. Okay, my all-time and camp hat. So I pick it up off the book bag or off the backpack. And sitting right underneath of it is the Louisiana crunch cake. So I pick up the hat and I take this one off and then put the hat on. I set the crunch cake down and then I take this off and then I put this back into the backpack. And then now we're ready for doing the oatmeal and everything else. And that was fun. You know, there's a lot of camera angles on just breakfast, like pouring the water onto the oatmeal. Just, that was a lot of fun. A lot of close-ups and things like that. So, but there was the Louisiana crunch cake, and I did not make it because I ate the oatmeal instead. And I had everything. And Emma Brown, I did have the Marcion cherries with me. I had everything to make a real good with cherries pineapple upside down cake with the pineapples, right, Emma? Yeah, yum. I know you had mentioned about me using cherries. I believe it was you at one time. So I've actually gotten them and I put them in a little jar and I take a couple of them out. And just to let you know, that's what I had for breakfast this morning was Louisiana upside down cake, pineapple upside down cake with the Marcion cherries. So, yeah, Lynn-Ann, thank you so much. Definitely a great job on the video. You do a great job in wearing that, brother. Oh, thank you, Alpine Warrior. Yeah, you can probably teach me a lot of ways to wear this and to utilize it more. So I did get this off of Amazon. These are on my storefront on Amazon. So in any of the videos, you just go down, and so is this knit cap is also in there. That's under clothing. I don't know if this is under clothing or not, but it's nice. These are really, really nice. And like I said, there's a whole bunch of uses for it. Very nice. And I got it hung up over here on the wall in between the hammocks right there on the wall. Alrighty. So let's see. No, bless you. Hey, Brian. Let's see. Camping all out. I'm trying the Mountain House meals right now. Oh, chicken and dumplings. Oh my goodness. I had that the other night. Okay, so the other night, I've never had chicken dumplings. And when Big Dog and I were out on that camping excursion, him and I had gone out, he ate chicken and dumplings. All right. And I ate, I forget which one I had. Maybe the beef stew. And he kept going, oh, this is good. This is good. And I'm like, really? He's like, oh my gosh, it's good. So the other day, at Cabela's, they had the chicken and dumpling. So I actually got the chicken and dumpling, and I was doing a product review the other day, and it was maybe about 11:30 at night, and I was doing that and not really thinking. Lisa, Miss 2.0, she had some leftover chili earlier in the evening, but I wasn't hungry because when I get focused on something, I don't, it just gets past me. So I'm sitting up here in the studio and I'm going, wait, I got a bag of that, some Mountain House meals downstairs. It was about 11:30. I thought, I'm going to go down there and just bring them upstairs to the studio. So I went down and I grabbed some water, a bottle of water I had there, and I grabbed this bag, and Lisa said, what are you doing? I said, oh, going back up to, hey, good night all. Good night, Lou. Thank you very much. And thank you for being a Patreon. Really appreciate you, brother. So I was downstairs and I'm coming up and she goes, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm going to make dinner. I might make one of these meals. And she said, 11:30. I said, well, I didn't eat yet. And she goes, oh, okay. And I said, well, it's only 600 calories. You want half? Because it's 2 servings. So you get 1 serving, 300 calories, 2 is 600. And so she said, no, I don't want any. And then I go, okay. So I headed upstairs. I boiled water quick, and Dennis, I used the koozie for the first time up in the studio. I put the meal in there. Well, Lisa asked me, she said, are you going to film it? And I was like, no, I'm working on one now, doing the final edits for it. So I just want to taste it. Oh my goodness. What an amazing meal that is. That became my number 1 favorite, I think. It's up there. It's really, really up there. The chicken and dumplings is amazing. If you haven't tasted it, oh, you got to give the chicken and dumplings a try. It's like the best. Oh, and when I was eating it, you could taste the dumplings were doughy, but it had a really strong chicken flavor. And I forget who just said they were going to eat one of those tonight. But if you do make it and you eat it, throw it up on the screen how you like it. Too nervous to eat anything. Oh, the November challenge. You made a lot of food. Yeah. So, GM, beef stew, I love. I love the beef stew, but this edges it out just by a little bit. Not much. I always say the only thing the beef stew's missing is crusty butter bread. Man, if it had crusty butter bread, man, that would be the bomb. But chicken and dumplings, oh my gosh, is it ever good? And the flavor of that chicken, it's got a very, very salty, chickeny taste. Very, very good. You got to try it. I know they didn't have it the one day that Alpine Warrior, myself, and Dave were walking around. But when I went back, I know they said they usually have them, but they route them. But they did have them when I went back. It was delicious. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, and I love the beef stew as well. But the chicken dumplings, that was just next level. It really, really was one step above. Definitely was. Yeah. Yeah, and if you try it, let me know how you like it, because I loved it. I really did. Yeah. All righty. So, hey, I don't know if Kevin, if you're on here, hey, thank you for the 5 coffees for buying me a coffee. And then I do want to say thank you, Alpine Warrior. I did use that. Alpine Warrior, anybody, just thank him for providing funds for me to cook a special meal for the November challenge, for the Stealth Camping Alliance challenge. And that's what I was doing last night. And I'll tell you what, it was a awesome meal. And I ate the whole dang thing. It was really, really good. So I did some research on it. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but I got, well, you can see because I already have the thumbnail up. It's already uploaded. So I had that uploaded this morning. I woke up at 7 o'clock, made my final breakfast and edits and closings, and the kettle I had sitting out on the little table I was using, and it was ice. So I could have had iced coffee this morning in the kettle. It was completely ice because it was only 22 degrees. So I fired that off, and I got that melted down and heated back up. And then I believe by 9:30, 10 o'clock, I was completely done and edited and uploaded. And I just had to make the thumbnail. But you'll see on the thumbnail Brussels sprouts, all right? Those Brussels sprouts came from my garden. I still have Brussels sprouts out in the garden just sitting there. And when I went to go cut the stalk off and to pull it to take with me, they were frozen. So it's like having a deep freeze out in the yard. So I had frozen. So you can see that is one of the items on the menu. So was Brussels sprouts, fresh from our garden. Yeah, so that was good. All right, so put that headlamp back up on there. So don't have a need for ice packs for food. No, you don't. In fact, it's really, my water bottles had ice. They were iced up this morning. In fact, the one I had to melt the ice from around the cap, because the cap, when I took it off, it was solid right inside of there. So I've got to start sleeping with the water this time of year. Usually what you do is you put it down in your sleeping bag or near you, so your body heat keeps it from freezing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, gonna do your challenge video tomorrow. Yeah. Camping all out. I don't know what state you're in. Okay, but it's in Tennessee. Yeah, it's supposed to be 17 degrees here. So I'm glad I did mine. I mean, it was 22. But I'll tell you what, I had to keep warming my hands up. And just to give you an idea, I had the heated jacket with me, but I didn't use it. And I had it with me, but all I had on was my t-shirt, a sweatshirt, and the Debut heated vest. I had the heated gloves with me too, but I can't use the gloves. I can't use gloves when I'm filming. If I was just going out camping, well, I'd put my hands in the gloves and I'd be all right. But finer tuned things, it's hard for me to use gloves and manipulate the camera and do all the work that we do to produce the videos. We love you down here in Louisiana, bro. Oh, awesome. You are good people, and I've never heard of Louisiana crunch cakes until you. Much love, my friend. Much love back, brother. So that's Matthew. And Ken, 23 degrees out right now. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, Rick, any stealth channels in West Virginia? I don't know. But go on to, if you're not part of Stealth Camping Alliance, that is a Facebook group that we're part of. And when we talk about doing challenges, that's where we're doing the challenge for Stealth Camping Alliance. It's once a month. Now, you don't have to participate in them. And if you're a member, you can hit and miss them. I haven't. Well, I did the bridge challenge last March. That was 2 days before my stroke, this past March. And I've done some similar to the challenges, but I haven't put it up as a challenge. So I've done things that could have been considered as a challenge, part of the challenge, but I just didn't put it up as a challenge. To get out this week. Oh, yeah. I'm just scanning down through the comments. Hey, does anybody have a question for me? I did mine last Sunday night, and it was 39 degrees, which is cold for Arizona, because you're in Arizona, right, Jess? Yeah. I'll tell you what, it was a little chill. I was debating on how soon I was going to get up in the morning, to start the day. But my grandson turns 2. His birthday's not for another week, but they always celebrate his birthday. Sometimes not necessarily on his birthday, but today was his second birthday, so we had to go to that. Well, not had to, we wanted to, right? Because it's our grandson. So I got home, and then we left to go to the birthday party, and then came home for the live. So I had to get up and get going in the morning. And I forgot to tell you, my wife was making fun of me for being the youngest guy at the meetup. I didn't even think about it until she said that. Had a good laugh about it. Yeah. I remember when I used to be the youngest guy at places. So it changes after a while. So I remember at work, I used to be like, oh my gosh, I'm always the youngest guy here and there. And next thing you know, you're not the youngest guy anymore. It goes quick, goes really, really quick. Yeah. And they always used to say, oh, time flies. It's going to go fast. And I was like, yeah. But my goodness, I was just thinking the other day, it's 35 years that Lisa and I have been married. 35 years. Where did the time go? Yeah. All right, Jess, you just turned 32. Well, happy birthday, belated. Does the smart water really make you smarter? I don't know. I've got. Here we go. I'll show you my water cache right here. I don't know if I've gotten any smarter. I keep drinking them, but I refill the water. But don't you like that piece of bark? So that's just my natural koozie. So I had gotten this, and I was just keeping it because I'm collecting bark for Dennis. I'm going to be mailing some bark to him, and this was all rotted out on the inside. And if you know anything about birch bark, the oil is in the bark, so you can use this as a fire starter, and that's why I'm collecting it. But this right here was part of a long trunk, okay? And all the wood was rotted on the inside. So I broke a piece off, and I took all the wood out, it just fell out really. And but this is very rigid, and the inside will rot before the outside. The outside stays preserved because the oil that's in it. So I thought, oh, that would fit in my cup. And sure enough, the smart water bottle fits right down inside it. So I joke around and say, hey, this is the very first natural koozie. So, and it looks cool too, right? Already. So say they use the smart water bottles because of the shape or something. Yeah, the smart water bottles, a lot of thru hikers will use them. One, because it's a liter, and if they're going to gather 2 liters, you got a liter. If you got 2 bottles, and they're rigid enough to reuse over and over and over again. Some people will use them for maybe a month or 2 out on the trail, just keep filtering water back into them. So like my Sawyer water filter, where's it at? Oh, over there. So like if I go out and like last night, I wasn't near a water source, but fortunately I had 3 liters of water with me because I got extremely thirsty after eating that meal. I got really thirsty, and I had used so much already because I made a whole pot of water for the cowboy coffee. And then the one item that I made for dinner, I had to boil it, in water. And it's not what you think. So, but it was a vegetable. So I had to boil the heck out of it, and I had to use water for that. I actually took that hot water and poured it in my coffee, just heat my coffee up. But yes, the smart water bottle is very good for backpacking. A lot of backpackers use it, and it's just a nice rigid bottle. And like this one's got a flip top. Okay, so you got the flip top, and that will actually fit on the smart water bottle or on the water filter as well. So you can hook that to it and drink right through it. So, yeah. Oh, and that reminds me, I've got a company that sent me water filters. I told them I didn't want to review it because I have the Sawyer Squeeze and the Life straw, and they said they're the original company of the Life straw. So I'm going to check it out. And they actually said, oh, you don't have to do a review on it. We'll just send you the product so you see if you like it. This membrane company. So I did that. So I didn't think using the smart bottles until I see you doing it. Yeah. GM Outdoors. I didn't get, that's not my original thing, because I, as you know, a lot of Appalachian Trail thru hikers, I interview them and talk to them, and I do trail magic. And I watch a lot of them, like Jay Wanders Out. I watched him on the Arizona Trail, and that's when he would say, I use a smart water bottle because he's filtering water on the trail into a smart water bottle. So that's where I started using the smart water bottles because they're reusable. These here, I've had these for maybe 3 months. I've got a couple more of them too downstairs. I got them all over the place because I just refill them and I lay them around the house. I'll drink out of them, and then I'll just lay them there. And then if I'm going by and I'm thirsty, well, I'll grab one and drink out of it. I don't know. I'd stay very hydrated that way. Let's plan for absolutely snow. Yeah, camping all out. That's my goal, is to eventually hike the Appalachian Trail. I know myself, there's a couple of guys that have been talking about doing it. And I know right now, Mike, who had given me this backpack, he's done all of Pennsylvania. He does section hiking. So he's not doing it straight through. He does a lot of section hiking. And I think he just told me the other day that he just did all of New Jersey. I mean, he's done a lot of different places, and he hikes the Appalachian Trail all the time here in Pennsylvania. Oh, Millinocket. Yeah. Northern end of it. Nice. Yeah. Hey, Ken. If I ever hike it, Ken, I'm going to give you a call. So, yeah. But yeah, there's Stitch. He's thinking about hiking it. There's a couple of us that are talking about it. I know since I had the stroke, my goal is to eventually, and you'll see that if you watch some of my trail magic videos, and you'll hear me talk about doing trail magic and so forth like that. Jess, the Arizona trail, that's where I started watching Jay Wanders Out. If he does, the Arizona trail is 800 miles, okay? And the Appalachian Trail is 2,193. Used to be, now it's 94.3, I think. So that takes, I mean, some guys do it in 4 months. Some guys take 8 months. So I think number 2 pencil, the herd hiker, he just did it. I think his was almost 8 months to do it. Yeah. So I know Alpine Warrior, you and I are talking about maybe doing it. Yeah. But my thought was, when I had the stroke, as part of my recovery, I would work my way into hiking the Appalachian Trail. And the way it's going, it may not be this coming year. It's because if I do it, I would probably start end of February, early March, hike it. And usually you do 5 to 8 miles a day for the first, working your way into it. And then eventually you get your trail legs and that kind of stuff and get your rhythm down. And then by the time you're hitting Pennsylvania, when we're out at the 501 shelter, everybody, when they get to the 501, they've gone over halfway on the Appalachian Trail. And a lot of them are like, oh my gosh, this is so nice. Pennsylvania, love it. And just from me watching people go past the 501 shelter, because I'll follow them through the trail on their YouTube channels. And I always hear them go, the guys I know, they start, and the gals that I know, they're like all fired up because they're doing like 26 miles and 30 miles coming into Duncannon, and from Duncannon over through to Port Clinton. And but when they hit 501 shelter, they're like, man, I really love Pennsylvania. And I said, hold your judgment. I started learning, because from the 501 shelter, it progressively gets worse and worse. And it's called Rocksylvania for a reason. They got little rocks you trip over, and they jump up and bite you. They like shark bites, and you can twist an ankle very easily through Pennsylvania. And even though New Jersey and also New York are very rocky, almost as rocky as Pennsylvania, it's a different type of rock. You get into more scrambling, larger rocks, boulders. It's the bigger ones. But the little ones is Pennsylvania. It's really, and this year Lazarus had a big fall. There's one guy on my channel. He had a big scar on his forehead. Him and his son were hiking, and you can see that Trail Magic video. I interview and talk to him as well. He fell coming out of Duncannon. Lazarus fell. There's quite a few that fell this year that I know of coming through Pennsylvania. Which isn't good. That can take you out of the trail very easily. So can't understand. I used to run a cat. Oh, you ran a cafe. Would stop by at the end, and one girl did it in less than 2 months. Oh my gosh! There's a couple of people that have really done it quick. Hey, Mike. Yeah, the rocks really start at Wind Gap. Yeah. And but up until 501, you would agree, right? Cumberland Valley coming through there, nice and flat. a lot of the hikers that I know, that's when they really make a lot of miles coming out of, right at, right when you come into Pennsylvania, the halfway point. So you've got the state park down there, Pine Grove State Furnace Park. Right there is the halfway mark. All right, so they're at the cafe, and that's where they eat the half-gallon challenge, do the half-gallon challenge, which is a half-gallon ice cream. So, and they always say, they always say, because we've talked to people when they did the half-gallon challenge too, is one person had some great advice. He said, whatever ice cream you love, don't pick that for your large one. Pick your large one that you don't really care about, and then your smaller one, pick one that is your favorite. Because when you eat all that ice cream, that half gallon or quart size, or the larger one, I forget what size that is, but when you eat that, you're gonna get sick of it, and you're not gonna want to eat it. So don't pick that one, which was your favorite. Don't pick that one as your favorite to eat. Too bad I sold my pest control business. I could have helped you. Yeah, you could have, Dennis. Yeah. Man, them spiders were crazy. Crazy spiders. Man, that was really weird, though. And I'm not sure what kind of spider they were, but they were real long, they were black, all right? And they were long legged, not the jumping spider. I know what those are, but they were long legged spider and would be real low to the ground, except for the one that was in the hammock and the one I swatted. That was a grayish brown one. Big. Yeah, that koozie, really nice, really nice. And I where I saw that at the first time was on the Appalachian Trail. A lot of the thru hikers show that to keep your food warm, that koozie. Yeah, the big one does sound like a wolf spider. I'm not sure if it was, but it didn't howl when I hit it. But it skipped with it. I've never heard a spider skip through the leaves. Yeah, snakes. Yeah, I don't like snakes. Yeah. Yeah, but when I hit that spider and it bounced through the leaves. It went, it was that big of a spider. Yeah. Yeah, Marathon. How long have I been on? I get to talk, and see, I'm making up for that silent video I did. I can't tell how long I've been on. Oh, an hour and 22 minutes. Alrighty. So let me wrap this up. Okay, make sure I got everything on my list. So, James, James is one of my Buy Me a Coffee members, and James Rockford Bill is the one who gave me this badge. Isn't that so cool? I haven't had a chance to use this yet. I tried it on Miss 2.0 a couple times. Say, hey, honey, and she goes, I was in the wrong jurisdiction. So just kidding. Just neat. But yeah, this badge is really heavy. James, this is such a thoughtful gift. Really neat. Just see that. That's my picture there. All right. And then you show this again, the badge again. Yeah. So I haven't been in a situation where I've had to pull it out yet and let them know. But I'm looking forward to the day I can. I say, step back just a little bit, give me a little bit of room. Let me explain what I'm doing here. Come on now. And just, I'm doing some exploring for YouTube. So I hope to get a chance to use that and catch it on film. Wouldn't that be so cool? All right. So good night, Hammock Mountain. And I want to say, hey guys, thanks for coming along on this Sunday Night Live. And real quick before I go, I know I cover 2 videos, all right, because we're doing the live every other week, all right. So on the next Sunday, there's no live, but I'll put up a product review. But I'm finding that we're going a little long, over an hour, all right, because we've got a lot to talk about. And I'm trying to cover the 2 videos. If I did a product review like that one, I didn't really talk about it too much. So how would you guys feel about doing a live every Sunday night? And maybe there's a program that I believe I've been playing around with it a little bit. And like my friend Dave, okay, Dave, the relaxation nurse and the RNRV Chronicles, and they left for North Carolina in their RV, and now they're going over to Arizona, and they're going to be there for 4 months. So him and I are doing something together. And Alpine Warrior, I know you and I talked. I'm thinking about maybe it not just be me. It's hard for me to have guests on the couch because they got to come to the house. But what I'm thinking of doing is maybe opening up and GM Outdoors. Maybe you and I can get on. We can talk about one of your videos or something like that on a Sunday Night Live. Like have guests come on and pop on. And think about it. Maybe we can incorporate that every couple of weeks, every other week. Yes, that'd be cool. Okay, camping. All out, and that would be cool. Emma Brown, okay. I would love to GM Outdoors. All right, so, well, I don't think we need to really take a vote. So what I'll do is I will look at going every Sunday night. We'll see how that goes for a little while. All right, so I do want to say, we got Thanksgiving coming up this Thursday, all right? So I may or may not do a camping video for this Thursday because I don't want to take away from everybody enjoying their families and giving thanks. And I want to give thanks right now, before Thursday. One of the things that I'm thankful for is the ability to have a YouTube channel and the ability to be feel so much love from all of you guys and all of the subscribers and stuff, and the interactions that we get to have. And I'm just very thankful for that. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my health, even though, I had that stroke. Hey, I'm doing okay, right? I'm getting better. So I'm very thankful for a lot. And we've got a lot to be thankful for, don't we? Yes. So, hey, Karen, how you doing? So I want to say happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And I'll probably maybe put up just I don't know if I'll do it in the community section or on Facebook, but I'll put out a little video that says, happy Thanksgiving and a thankful video real quick, wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving. But everybody that's on tonight, happy Thanksgiving to you and your families, and don't eat too much, well, but that's what you're supposed to do, right? And alrighty, so everyone, happy Thanksgiving, and Emma and everybody, and thanks for being on. And again, thanks for coming along. And I can't say score the music for my exit. And so, and if anybody's wondering, I always use the same music for my exit and my intro on a camping one. But let me just tell you this real quick. The reason I use that music is, in my mind, that music in the end sounds like a Jason Bourne supremacy film. And it's like, he's leaving, but he's going to show up again. So that's my music that I used at the very end And I think it's called 1001 Nights in the program that I use. All right. So I can't say score to music because this isn't a recording. I can't edit it in. But score to the music. All right. And you can hum it along in your head. All right. So, hey, thanks for coming along. And remember, it's one adventure at a time. And it's Tony 2.0 out. Happy Thanksgiving. And we will see you next time. And tune in tomorrow for Mail Monday. All right. Okay. I love everybody. And you guys have a good time and good night. We'll see you on the next one. All righty.